Hey everyone, so today I thought I would do a quick little video on our Thermo King Reefer Unit. So I've actually received a couple of questions, just asking general questions about it, and if I could do a quick little video to demonstrate how we do our heating and cooling in the box on the straight truck. So we do have a Thermo King unit. So I will just go over some of the settings real quick with you and show you how we set everything up when we have to do a temperature run. Alright, so this is our Thermo King unit, and as you can see on the top left we have the on button, below that we have the off button. The next 4 buttons across the bottom are just for the menu and different settings. And then in the top right we have our manual defrost, and below that we have the slow or city mode, which slows the reefer down a little bit and makes it a little quieter. So this is what we use every time that we have a temperature load, whether it be temperature or a T-val load with FedEx Custom Critical. Now some straight trucks do have a carrier unit. Unfortunately I don't have one of those to show, but we do have Thermo King. I've used both systems over my 8 years with FedEx, and I do prefer Thermo King. I think they're just way more reliable. So I will go over a few settings here and show you how we set it up and turn it on. So first thing we'll do is hit the on button. And then you can see there that the unit is starting up. You get the logo of Thermo King. And it does take a few moments to go through. It has to configure the system. It has to do a pre-warm-up and a checklist all internally. So that does take a few moments to start up here. So now as you can see, it does say the engine is starting. Alright, so you probably can't hear that on the video. If you can, it's probably really low, but the unit just started up. So once it starts up, you can see on the left hand side it has a 29.4. Now currently we are in Celsius. A lot of our temperature loads are recorded in Celsius, so that's usually what we stay in. We do Fahrenheit as well, but usually everything is in Celsius. So the 29.4 that you see on the left, that is the actual temperature inside the box at this time. So we're roughly 30 degrees Celsius inside the box. On the right, the number 5, that is what it is currently set at, 5 degrees Celsius. And most of our runs, especially for temperature validated or T-val, they are at a 5 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 41 degrees Fahrenheit. So in the far top left, you can see a little down arrow. That means that the unit is on and it is now cooling. So it is starting to cool down the box, and it's going to go until it reaches that 5 degrees Celsius. Below that, we do have our first button, which is the set point. That's the menu you go into to change the set point. You have your gauges, sensor, and menu. So if you needed to change the set point, you would hit the set point button. That goes into the set point menu. Once you get there, you can go plus or minus to whatever temperature that you need it to be set at. Like I said, the majority of ours are set at 5, so that's what we currently have on. But as you can see here, we can go up or we can go down. Once you have it on the temperature that you would like to have, you just simply hit yes. It programs that new set point, and then it has it stored in the system, and it will cool down to that set point. So the other menu option that we use a lot is going into the menu system. Once you go into menu, you get a lot of different options. Now this system is super smart. It knows, it really does control itself pretty much. The only reason you would go into the menu is if you had any alarms. As you can see, the first item here is the alarms menu. If there was any alarms, anything wrong with the system, it would pop up an alarm here and tell you what that was. You can actually hit select by going into the alarm menu, and it would tell you what the alarm was and how many alarms you had. As you can see here, we have 0 alarms, so everything is working and functioning the way it should. So we're going to exit out of the alarm system and we're going to go next. The next thing that we use is hours meters. You pretty much only use that whenever you go in for service, or if you're for some reason need to tell FedEx how many hours you have on the unit. That's where you would go into there. The next thing we have here is mode. This is where you change between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we're going to go into mode, and then we're going to hit next, and now we are on the mode. So here you can see that we are currently in Celsius. We're going to select this, and then we can hit the plus button, and that will change over to Fahrenheit, or we can stay in Celsius by hitting the minus button. So if we switch over to Fahrenheit by hitting the plus button, and then we confirm our selection, it'll program the unit into the unit itself, and now you can see that we are over on Fahrenheit. So that is pretty much the only thing that we use in the menu system. So now we're going to exit out, and as you can see now, instead of Celsius, we are now in Fahrenheit. So on the left, it says 78.9 degrees Fahrenheit, and our set point is the 41 on the right, which is equivalent to 5 degrees Celsius. As you can see, we still have our arrow in the top left, which is the cooling. So that tells me that the box is cooling. If we have to do a run where it is kept at a warmer temperature, especially during the winter months, then you will see that arrow go up sometimes, and that just tells you that the system is warming the box. So warming is up, cooling is down. Now, if you ever need to put it into a manual defrost, that is going to be this button right up here. You should never really have to use this button, but if you ever did have to put it into a manual defrost, it would be that button right there. The unit is programmed with FedEx Custom Critical to automatically go into a defrost mode every 4 hours. So every 4 hours, it will do a quick defrost mode, just kind of gets the ice off of the fans and things of that nature and keeps everything running. Again, this was the city mode button here, which is the little turtle icon. This basically slows the unit down and it doesn't run as high speed, and it's also quieter. FedEx doesn't like us to use this because, again, it can cause the box to not stay at optimal temperature because it slows the motors down. So we never ever use this, but you do have that option there. Just, you know, like I said, use it at your own caution because it does make the unit quieter and doesn't run as loud, but you're not going to get as high performance. And especially if you're on a temperature validated run, you want to make sure that the box is running at optical peak performance to keep all the product at the same temperature. So that is pretty much an overview of the Thermo King system and what we do to go in and set it up and the different settings on it. So if you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And as always, thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.